Part 13, the final part, page 31. They begin to doubt. With the law that our money should be counted by cubic measure instead of by weight, we have poisoned our money, our economic bloodstream. With the enactment of this law, the medium of exchange was linked with the medium of saving, a mesalliance of the worst kind. If we tie a crab to a mouse, they cannot move, because the mouse will go forward, the crab backward. And so it is with the coupling of the medium of exchange and medium of saving. They pull in opposite directions. As medium of exchange, money should pass from hand to hand without interruption. But as medium of saving, it must remain stationary. Marquez, therefore, injected contradiction into the medium of exchange, and to this contradiction we attribute the fact that Barataria, the land of general abundance, has turned into Kararia, the land of dearness, dearth, and distress. As soon as money is converted into the general medium of saving, our economic system must develop in the sign of the cancer, the crab, in which usurers and speculators exploit the general distress. It would be wonderful if one could invent some means by which all wares could be preserved and stored without cost or loss. But with this money preserver, nothing is in fact preserved, nothing conserved. The only thing accomplished is the shifting of the cost of storage of the products from the money owner to the worker. Marquez has confounded private economic profit with national economic advantage. His private economic value preserver is a national economic value destroyer. And how are we paying for this wonderful invention? We are paying for it with interest, with the interest system, capitalism. Because the medium of exchange became a medium of saving, it disappears practically every 3 weeks into the saving boxes, where it can only be lured by offering a special premium. And what do we call this premium, Carlos Marquez? It is called interest. And this interest has now become the universal demand, generally recognized, which is included in every transaction in industry and trade. Everything must yield interest in order to induce the money savers to use or invest their money. And therefore I say, not private property in the means of production, but our present mechanism, money mechanism, is the cause of surplus value. We owe it to this static money that our workers must hand over the counter to the capitalist, the value of our entire country, with everything erected on it, every 20 years. They want to study. Marquez. Friends, I must admit that the explanation given by Martinez has made me doubtful, even perplexed. We must study the matter thoroughly. Should it appear that it was a mistake to couple the medium of exchange with the medium of saving, I, who suggested this, will be the first to sever this relation again. Martinez, that was bravely spoken, and does honor to you and your comrades. Divide and conquer. Speaker of the House, Mr. Diego Martinez, I must call you to order the third time, and therefore withdraw your right to continue your speech. We are gathered here to discuss currency questions according to the order of the day, but not to facilitate actions for unification of the people. As nobody else wants to speak, I herewith declare the debate closed. The end. Be a man. Draw the natural conclusions from what you have been reading here. There is no greater, no more urgent, no more natural, and also no more sacred duty for you than to assist in the great work of liberation from the fetters imposed by a wrongly constructed our money maladministration, and an unnatural relationship of man to all Mother Earth. The real enemy of peace and prosperity, of freedom and culture, are these basic economic defects. They must be corrected. Neither foolish talk nor party strife, neither clenched fists nor speeches charged with hate, but only the elimination of ignorance by true enlightenment will help enlightenment of all men and women, of the workers, farmers, business and professional men, of all who live by their own work and are of good will. You belong in our ranks to form the great social liberation movement of tomorrow. The sooner you get acquainted with our teachings, the better for you and all of us. We are not a political party fighting with inadequate political means and empty slogans, but an educational movement with scientifically established facts, which may be examined by each and every one in the light of the happenings of the day. Our goal is not to set up another bureaucratic party machine, but to make such efforts superfluous. The free economy movement is a world movement. Its teachings are still hushed up by a vile press in the service of the beneficiaries of the basic monopolies, the land and money monopolies. Nevertheless, in almost all countries, our groups have taken up the fight for the same goal: liberation from the money and interest fetters as the fundamental condition of civil and international peace, of the realization of the full proceeds of labor, of social, economic justice, and the great common ideals of all mankind. Mankind is at the crossroads. Which way will you choose to take? Fascistic, socialistic, or communistic dictatorship, regimentation and loss of freedom, with exploitation by an irresponsible bureaucracy, or realization of true democracy, with a simplified state machinery, highest possible freedom, self-responsibility, and prosperity for all who work. Indifference means subjection. Be a pioneer for justice and freedom. This was written by the American Free Economy Association in San Antonio, Texas, in 1938, when the movement was around the world. Hitler in World War II, which was financed by Federal Reserve banks and some of the other richest sons of Satan in the world, stopped the free economy movement. And that was the goal of World War II, to stop this economic movement. Because if the money magnates of the world had not stopped it, they would not be in power today. That happened on the second day of Christ. But this is the third day, the day that we, God's chosen people, will establish God's kingdom on earth. Yes, that will happen on this, the third day.